So exactly how do you go about finding and writing out your personal mission statement? Or as Dare to Dream author Mike Slaughter calls it, your big, hairy, audacious God purpose. In the book, Mike suggests a number of questions to ask yourself to help frame your purpose. Answering those questions and then following these 4 simple steps will help you write out your personal mission statement. The first step toward realizing your God purpose is identifying your passions and your gifts. If you've taken the spiritual gift survey at the church, you probably have a pretty good idea what your passions and gifts are. If you haven't, ask yourself these questions. What makes me special? What gifts and talents do I have that other people don't? What lights me up more than anything else I do? Give this some thought and don't be humble about it. God gave each of us special ways to serve his kingdom. Figure out what yours is, and you've taken the first step toward realizing your God purpose. Now, the second step toward realizing your God purpose is writing your personal vision statement. To start, ask yourself these 4 questions. What do you envision for yourself in your life a year from now? What personal goals or accomplishments are you most excited about reaching? Which of your talents do you most love sharing with other people? And where can you envision yourself serving God's kingdom in the coming year? Now, write a descriptive paragraph that paints a picture of the future you most want to live in, describing how and where you're serving God's kingdom. It should engage your imagination and make you excited about the place you want to be 12 months from now. That place is your vision. Next, make a list of your values. What's really, really important to you? Your faith, your family, your health, your company? It's been said if you really want to know what's important to you, look where you spend your money, your time, and your energy. Those are your core values. Put another way, those are your highest priorities. Keeping that in mind, make a list of your core values. There's no limit, but 5 to 10 make a good list. And finally, we come to the mission statement itself, where you will write out your big, hairy, audacious God purpose. Note that I said write. This isn't something to think about, talk about, or let run around in your head. Now's the time to commit your purpose to paper. And listen, don't be intimidated by a blank sheet of paper. The hardest part about writing is always the starting. So start. Write something, anything. Understand, your mission statement will not be perfect the first time you write it. It won't be perfect the 7th time you rewrite it. It's an evolution. The key is to get started and then see where God takes you. Your mission statement is the culmination of your spiritual gifts, your vision, your values, and your written commitment to act. It's your written declaration and promise to God about how you've chosen to use the talents he's given you. It's not complicated, and it shouldn't be long, 2-3 sentences at most. Let it unfold like a prayer. You can even use this structure. God, my purpose is to use the spiritual gifts you've given me, now list your gifts, to serve your kingdom, and now add your vision for how you see yourself serving God, a vision congruent with your core values. When you're finished, read it over and over again. How's it feel? Does it light you up? Does it inspire you? Here's the measure of a great purpose statement. Imagine yourself at age 100, looking back on the life you've led. If at that time you had lived into the purpose you just composed and served God as you intended, would you consider that a life well lived? If so, your purpose statement is complete. If not, your purpose isn't big enough. It's time to revise it. Now, I want to leave you with a quick story, but first a question. What did you want to be when you grew up? When I was 6 years old, I knew I wanted to be a writer. But over the years, I drifted from that. In college, when they asked me what I wanted to major in, I said economics. Sounded good, but God had other plans. A year later, I was a journalism major. I graduated from college and got an internship at a newspaper. They offered me a job, but the pay wasn't very good, so I went to graduate school. The next summer, I took a semester off and attended Portfolio Center, a creative advertising school in Atlanta, a school for writers. I know now that that was my burning bush moment. 3 times I tried to divert from where God wanted me to go, but each time he somehow pushed me back in line. I've been an advertising writer for 23 years now and have loved every day of it. But recently, I realized there was another way God wanted me to use my talents. 2 weeks ago, I left the agency I spent 15 years helping to build to take on a whole new challenge, writing for a political strategies firm that helps candidates running for president, Senate, House, and governor. For the first time, I felt called to use my gifts in a very specific way, and there's no question to me that God was directing that way. My point is this: even if you don't know what your purpose is yet, know you have one. Every one of us does, and it's been there from the very beginning. It doesn't mean you have to make a career change, but you might. God knows the purpose He's given to each of us. Now it's our turn to figure out what that purpose is and start living into it.